I'm gonna do this combo real quick, and then I'll send everybody there. Actually, I don't care. I'll send them over.
All right.
Come on, Rick.
Okay. Alright, just got a post on Twitter that I'm doing this. WNF sets. iLab matchups. And just about ready. All right. The reason you see Walled is because my streamed match in over at WNF, or Wednesday Night Fights, was against an Akatsuki. And Waldstein is a character that I can play at a basic level, and it's also a character that I've extensively labbed against as Yuzurika, but it is not a character that I have ever labbed with this particular character. That's Akatsuki, in comparison to Yuzuriha, has much completely different options that he needs to employ in order to be successful in this matchup. So, since I am pretty new to Akatsuki myself, I am going into how I'm going to go about learning this. And thanks for the follow, by the way. So, I'm going to start off with just round start options, because that is something that I think a lot of people don't put enough emphasis on. And so, generally, how I lab out round start options, I'm just going to go to, where's the dummy? All right, I'm just going to clear out all of my slots here just in case. And to me, the easiest way to lab out round start options is simply to chain shift, because at that point, you know the exact time that the round, quote unquote, is going to start, and you can have the round start distance set up nicely. So by doing the chain shift, and like I can do like round start 6-6B being an incredibly normal option for Walled. So that's the one I'm going to start with. Like, what can Akatsuki do against round start 6-6B? Because that, or just that, is just so common for a Waldstein player to use. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And just go back to holding down back. So you can't see it there, but it is, I have the mod on, which is super nice. 10 frame startup at round start distance. I think up close is like 9 frames, but still really quick. So like if I press my 5B at 7 frames there, that that beats it out. But of course, that since 5B completely whiffs at that range, what can happen is wait and then do it. And if I set it to happen, I'll get whiff punished. Not quite there, but you get the idea. Like, even though 5B technically beats round start 6-6B, just due to being a little bit faster and can catch the extended hurt box, you cannot rely on it just because this doesn't lead to anything. Like, I don't see anything that actually leads to. So basically, I'm seeing round start 5B as not a good solution here because this at this range I can't score any hit, so I'm taking a risk for no reward at all. So like, let me see what other options I might have, because 5B, okay, but I'm not a fan. Okay, at that point, how minus is he? Minus 13. So that ends up... Oops. Hold on. That ends up being a true punish. So that, just round start dash block might be okay, but of course that will completely lose, or it'll be hard to react to if I do... Let's see if I can do a 360 on hitbox, because there's a reason I play Walled on stick. Yeah, there we go. Oops. So, you can definitely tech in time, but a lot of times when you're like focused on dash blocking, you end up like also looking for overheads. It can be tricky, but that doesn't mean that this is a horrible option. It just means you have to be ready. Anyway, part of what I'm doing here is as part of how I lab matchups is as I kind of get ideas or find information, I write it down. So I'm just going to go here to the other display where I just have a Word document up and I just put in the information as I find it. And then just put in basic details, 10F, and let's get actual list going. No. This is, oh, I have it set to, hold on. There we go. B, which we put 10 frames. It's special cancelable. And minus 13. That is pretty key info because it might be worthwhile to fuzzy block. So that's the next thing I'm going to look at. So back to that. So gonna go over here and just set up another recording where I'm going to do 6-6B into B clap because that is the most common thing that a Walled player will do at this point. And a lot of this is just knowing from experience, like just watching what Walled players do, but sometimes you really should just kind of see if they might have other options that are better that even they might not know about. So I'm going to go ahead and record that here. And let's see, it was going to be 6-6B, 2-1-4B. So, okay, now that I have that recorded, okay, so that's +4. But what is the breaking on that? That looked like a pretty big gap. Yep. So there's a pretty big gap there that you can just do immediately after blocking that. So if they do go into 214B, they end up +4, which can help with their approach, but there is a pretty big gap. So next thing I want to know is what if they do 214A, which is a much bigger or a much smaller gap. So, oops. That almost looks gapless to me, but we will find out. So a B button loses, but 5A trades, which means at that point you can parry. Hey, Miso. It looks like it's a 5-frame gap because we are completely trading. If the gap was smaller than that, my 5A just would not come out. And if it was bigger than that, 5A would win. So now I'm going to go right back to the Word document here and just going to say 66B, 214B, big ass gap. And let's just say +4, because that is relevant. 66B 214A has 5F gap. You trade unfavorably. So, you don't really want to be pressing, as a Kotsky, I would not want to be pressing a button there, but I might find it an okay idea to do a force function there. And like this is not at all a combo stream. Combos you can just, turn on some music and just kind of grind them out for a few hours. They don't really take any thinking. You just do them over and over again until you have that muscle memory. So don't expect anything like that today here. But now we're seeing that is a really solid option for me to use round start. The other thing is that that's -1. So after this, we're pretty much back to neutral, so that -1 really doesn't matter. But that also means that if you shield, that's -4 at that point. But the spacing is still big enough that shielding doesn't actually do anything besides net you some grid and potentially grid break you if he does like 66B, 236B. So I don't know if I really like that as an option here. Yes, you can. Well, no, you can't force function both gaps. So I'm gonna do 66B 214B. If you do it at the same timing, I fear that oh, never mind. I was kind of afraid that Akatsuki's parry wasn't active enough to have the same timing cover both, but that is a really good point. So we will just go ahead and add it straight to the notes here. So can force function, and I'll make sure to say that and make a note at the same timing. Yeah, like charged 214B would be a big issue. I don't see a Wald really wanting that because the range that Wald gets out of doing the instant cancel is really favorable for Wald. Going back to this, I'm just going to go here and just start a dummy recording. So that 5B, and Wald is so big you don't even get to see the frame data behind it. Okay, 13 frame startup and covers all of that. That is huge. That is way bigger than anything that Akatsuki can do. Going back to here, you know, this pretty damn good for a 10 frame button. Pretty damn good for 11 frame. But the speed doesn't matter a whole lot if Wald can reach all the way over here. Right? Until I'm in this range, I can't start bullying Wald. Because Wald's fastest button at 2A is 8 frames. Right? Which means this 7 frame button, I'm just going to set him to block here. So, only -3. If I do the close one, that's 0. Which, like, Wald, the only thing you can do here is 360. And that obviously gets frame trapped. This is 0, which is I can poke him at the range outside of his 360A. So, like, ideally, what I want to be getting to, like, my goal from round start is to get to about this range. Once I'm at this range, I can very much start running the Akatsuki game plan. Or at least the Akatsuki game plan as far as I have learned so far, because keep in mind, I'm very new to him. Alright, let's see. What other round start options should we have to worry about? One of the ones, if he wants to get in, would be something like 66C, just because... Oops. I will get that 360 on hitbox eventually. There we go. No! There we go. So, that, of course, can be fuzzy mashed. You do not want to fuzzy mash that high, because if you extend your hurtbox at all, that is what's going to happen. And that's... that is a really good starter for Wald, and also, if I remember correctly, that is +9. So that's why it's, wait. Oh, no, he didn't get the second hit, so it's hella minus. Yeah, it's -5. So at that point, you can very much punish. So, let me make some notes here. Back to this. Alright, so next, 66C being a pretty solid round start option. Can do fake setup, where he goes into 360A. If you do round start dash block, it is -5. That is really nice to know. And yeah, if I remember correctly, second hit is +7. So we'll go right back to this and find out. Yeah, it's +8. So I'll just add that right there. Second hit should be swapping here. And so, like, in general, I feel like round start dash block is pretty good, but I just have to be really aware of Wald doing round start 360B, which I will add to as the next thing to try out. Because if we try anything against that, it will get just counter hit thrown, and otherwise it's a yellow throw at like with a 20 frame tech window. So let's go back here and there we go. So a lot of Walds will do that round start if they're expecting a dash block or something and think you will not be ready to tech. So as long as we're ready to tech, that just the dash block seems like a pretty solid option. Obviously, you can do something like trying to do a dash Tatsu. Yeah, that would obviously win, and if you have meter, you can convert that. Or if you have CS, well, you wouldn't have CS round start. Yeah, if you have meter, you can use EX Fireball to convert, or a full bar into IW. But in general, just Tatsu puts you in a horrible position against Wald, I feel, just because at being -4, if you space it right, you shouldn't be in 360A range, but if he shields it, you will be in 360B range, and that is not where you want to be. Yeah, that's a good point. Wald doing round start 4B is a very legitimate thing that he can do, because that shockwave is +4. And if you dash up, he's only +2. So shockwave +4. Down here, it's -2. So at this range, let me stop there. At this range, that is, can my 5B or 2B reach? Okay, 5B at this range reaches. So if he does round start 4B, even though he's +2, it's probably still his advantage. I'm trying to think, because his A button is 8 frames, so it would come out like frame 6 for Akatsuki, and this being frame 7 means that he still has the advantage. So, not great, but in general, just Akatsuki has to do something to be able to get in. Obviously, if there are Akatsuki players in chat, I'm open to hearing like what your thoughts are, round start, or just approaching Waldstein in general. But right now, what I'm seeing as an approach to try, like, for all this labbing, none of this necessarily is the correct answer. It's usually an iterative process where we come up with what is a potential solution, and then you go into, and then you go and play sets, and you try to implement the things that you labbed and see if they make a difference for the better. So I'm gonna do, let's see here. I'm gonna do 4B and then 2A. Okay, do that. Oops. Interesting. I wonder if I didn't do it fast enough. Okay, that should have come out frame 1 that time, so let's give that a shot. Yeah. Oh, we trade. Interesting. It's probably far enough that I'm catching like later active frames of that 2A. Okay, A Tatsu straight loses. B Tatsu loses. Hold on. Oops. 5A loses. Yeah, I might have to, like, this feels risky against Wald, but it might be okay to do double dash block round start. Oh man, that traveled like no distance. Right. Trying to... Fireball seems okay. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. Can I just walk back and whiff punish? No, the 2A goes too far. But yeah, it looks to me like just dash blocking in general seems to be the way until I decide to challenge with 5B. 5B seems to be the best just because this is pretty damn big for a 7-frame button. It's not quite Wagner 5B, but you know, not everything can be Wagner 5B. But this is still nice because it very nicely leads to combos. Yeah, I'm absolutely loving Akatsuki Far 5B the more I press it. This is just checking dashes with this thing has made me very happy. So Salty, what are your takes as like approaching Waldstein round start? Because most of what I'm finding keeps putting me in not great situations, like, and it seems to me like I just have to get a read and hope to be right, or like hope he goes for a throw or something and then I just tech it. I've labbed this matchup a ton, but as you can imagine, if I am playing Yuzu, where is she? And I have this fucking button, like, Wald can't do shit about that. Let's see, a big problem of it is J6C is a mid for a long time versus Wald. Wait, why would J6C be different against Wald? But yeah, can't rely on long ass moves. I gotta be honest against Waldstein here. So, yeah, which a lot of times, like, even if I'm labbing and I find that there really isn't a good solution, that is also a perfectly fine thing to learn because it means you can focus on other stuff. Whoops, that was meant to be J6C. My hitbox here, as you can see, has pretty fat buttons, and I sometimes fat finger. Let's see. Can I have Wald crouch? I want to see if that's a mid. Why is that a mid? That's fucked up. Oh, man. So you have to, like, do it super low to the ground for it to hit high? That is messed up. Like, this is beyond the apex of the jump arc. That's not fair. Man. Mika is at least, like, tiny. I don't know. Okay. So now that we're done with round start, which from mostly what I've gathered, which I will go ahead and take as notes, because I do like to take just kind of general notes, not really specific. So I'm going to switch over to the Word doc and just put general round start notes. Oops. General notes. Until you have a read. F5B is your challenge button. Don't rely on Tatsu. And use J6C to attempt low crushes. No, it hits mid on walled for some reason. Okay. Is Tatsu great versus walled? I was seeing his 2A beat it. Oh, so like if you want to use Tatsu, it has to be as like a far poke? Okay, first of all, we know, like, unless you are psychotic playing walled, you're not blocking if you're walled. So I'm just going to assume that they don't block. That Joe is the only walled player that I have ever seen block. But I'll still put it. Try out Far B Tatsu for challenging. Right. Oh, music is kind of on the quiet. Okay. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start looking over the actual set and then start taking notes on what it is that I need to find out there. Because I just always start with round start because neutral is so important. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to that, which I have right here. Okay, I started with 66C,
okay. I see you.
which actually, let's see how good 66C is here. Well, 66C is what? 11 frame startup and covers the round start distance, which means it would lose to round start 66B. Yeah, they lose to jumping attacks. It loses to 66B. If walled does... Let's see. If he does that... Yeah, it beats round start 4B. But yeah, in general, it seems to me... Yeah, Walds absolutely love spamming Assault. Especially against characters like Akatsuki that struggle to deal with anyone that varies their jump arc. Yeah, I would agree with Ju on that. The walled round start options is like 40% just holding 9. So that's the next thing we should absolutely... let me just take a moment to write down the notes on 66C. Okay. And now let's figure out what to do against round start 9. So, like, if I'm doing the usual dash block, that hits pretty high up. Oops. That trades. See, anytime you see wall jump, you think to myself, force function 2-2x or 6C. Yeah, close 5C not being head and vuln. You can pick up on trades with close 5C though, right? Just because, like, close 5C, like, picks up on a lot of cross-ups. So that was, oh no? Damn. Okay, so let me see if I can do... Yeah, 2-2A, obviously really good. Because it auto-corrects. Give me that. I could just be like remembering the one time like that I caught extended cross-up hurt boxes, and I just got under the impression that it was good. But that is good to know. So besides dash block, if considering how much walls do like to jump, 2-2A seems really solid, especially with meter, but gotta be really late on it. Oh, I'm pretty aware of walled hurt boxes. They're not really there. His arms are just hit boxes with nothing to hurt. But yeah, 2-2A being yeah, if you want to do it early, 2-2A is good. I feel like most of the time you're going to react kind of late if you're like looking for other options too. But like honestly, for my own purposes, I would probably just do 2-2B for myself until I got better as Akatsuki. Mainly because right now I don't see myself being able to reliably convert 2-2A. And so I would much rather just take the extra like 500 damage that 2-2B gives me. Also, it going higher, I'm going to do another one here. Where if they do that, like because if they have a meter for 214C, 2-2B reaches. Whereas I don't think, yeah, that's just sad times, and I'd rather not deal with that. 2-2B going higher, allowing you to do it earlier. Yeah. That's sad. Yeah, that would be ideal. Oh, if he does like charge JC, let's try that. Like that, or are you talking like assault charge JC? Okay, so do it like that. This might be like a closer thing. Like if I do round start dash block, yeah, like that. That'll just straight whiff. Whereas 2-2B works. Yeah, that's just sad. Oh no, his JC, his charge JC, like, just fucks everyone over. Akatsuki is not alone. Just so much that Wald does off that you can't reliably react to. Especially when they start doing it so that it hits low, so it's plus on shield. It's just all kinds of a bad time. But let us go back to the notes and talk about holding 9. So let's see, JC. Let's see what else. J2C. Those are going to be the big ones. And 6D. JC, and again J2C. So we'll look at assault as well. Holding 9 it's overpowered, man. All right, so against this, 2-2B is really good. 6C can whiff if close. But his biggest reward. I need to go back and see how 6C and 2-2B interact with his J2C. Alright. So I already forgot which of these slots had assault or his J2C, so I'm going to do that. Alright. Oops. That's just kind of funny. Yeah, can't do anything there. Oops. Okay, 2-2B seems like it covers the most options. If just done back here, then yeah, you're just gonna get counter hit. So, gonna go back to the notes. 8 wins. 6C loses. Yeah, 2-2, making it so that it always autocorrects is pretty nice. Also, 2-2A being frame 1 head invuln, and on counter hit, if it only does 1 hit, you can combo, but the combo, you have to be kind of nice to be able to actually combo off that. I'm not there yet. Alright, so now I'm going to start looking at assault options. So, alright. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do that. Where is it? I should CS first. I can't remember if I CS'd there, so... Okay. There we go. That is very much a thing that Wald players will do to you. So do that. And I'll start with slot 1. So you can fuzzy mash that, but I would personally collect some data before going for that fuzzy mash, because this is what they can also do. Do that, and your fuzzy mash ends up dying. Not mid-screen, obviously, unless you backed up a little bit. But yeah, like, in general, if you see, like, so the fuzzy mash can get beat by J2C, and honestly, like, in my playing, like against Smiles or against Joe, I tend to fuzzy mash first until I think they're going to start going for that J2C, and then I'll stop fuzzy mashing and just be willing to take the throw if I need to. Because if they do the J2C and it's blocked, they have to spend a resource in order to do anything afterwards. So, like, you're still not in a great spot, but at the very least, like, they have to spend something. And if they do it without resources, then they just die. So let's see here. I'm going to go back to this. So if he assaults, that whiffs. And you can, if you react, but you're not really reacting to that. You just whiff. If he does a 360, that at that range, you're still out of 360A range. And then that you should also be safe, even if you're back here. So, in general, like, against assault, dash block ends up... It doesn't win because you're just back in neutral, and that's not great for Akatsuki, but you're not eating damage. So, gonna add these things to my notes. And... and I gotta add JC here. Hawk wins. Can 360A after. Loses to, or gets beat by Fuzzy Mash. Fuzzy Mash loses to J2C. I mean, dash block to beat assault is like a lot of how I get out of the corner with Yuzu. So maybe that's just my Yuzu brain, like in action here, because since it's like a primary way of people resetting pressure without like a ton of risk, I tend to like using dash blocks, because if someone hops straight over, you can like have them take the corner if you were the one cornered, that kind of thing. Yeah, in general, I'm just a fan of using defensive dash blocks. Okay, but now that we've covered that, back to looking at the video, and let's see how I get blown up, because boy, do I get blown the fuck up in this set. Alright, I need to figure out, because Wald players do like to use, like, no cancel their 2B, so I gotta remind myself Just gonna make some notes here on general pressure. Because, like, even though I have played Wald at a basic level, that doesn't mean I know anything about his frame data. I just copy the cheapies and watch people die. So, yeah, I very much don't really know a ton about, like, all the intricacies of Wald. So, let's go into this. TV. Okay. I don't know why. I'll just have it go here. All right. Back to this. And let's go to the corner just to get pressure stuff. So how much is... So 2B is -5. So that's honestly, like, if he's no canceling 2B at this range, he's fine. That is pretty okay. And it's -8. And that is a really common thing that Wald players will do to you. Just do that and then do 720. But yeah, that's -2, so that's also this to set up 360 is incredibly good. Alright, so back to notes. -5, but spaced is safe. I wouldn't say that Wald has... So he has really good frame data for the range, but his frame data up close is horrendous. In a game where, you know, people have... Yeah, 8 frames is as fast as normal in a game where everyone else has 5 or 6 frame normals. So it can be very hard for him to challenge other people's pressure. But that said, the frame data on his 360 is insane because his 360A is a 3-frame command grab that is pretty big. It is bigger than pretty much all A buttons in the game except Ori A5A because fuck that button. And it is about the size of a lot of B buttons for 3 frames. It's insane. But, you know, it being 360, it's not too easy to just be mashing out. So it pretty much balances out. But yeah, 2B here, like looking at the pressure, Wald ending pressure in 2B when they're spaced is pretty damn okay because it's still at a range where, like, they can mash like 360B if they want to catch anyone challenging. All right. Oh, maybe I do need to do that. All right. Let's see what else was done to me here. I don't even agree with my own Tatsu there. I was flailing hard. So going back a little bit.
I see you.
Let's see.
Starting out with dash C, okay. I see you.
Yeah. So what that block string that created that spacing was looked like 1. No, it wouldn't have been 1A because you can't cancel that. Kind of wish this was on YouTube so you can
dash C, okay.
more easily Oh, 5A, 5A, 5B, 2A. So let's just check out that block string. And I will go ahead and write that down. 5A, 5B, 2A. Like, a lot of when I'm labbing stuff is I will just literally copy a string that someone did and see what can come out of it. So, going back into the game here. Let's start that dummy recording. 5A, 5B, 2A. Or 2B, yeah. Do that. So yeah, it's -5. And if I shield, I can't punish. But that is a pretty solid opportunity. Like, so if I see 2B and I want to call out a no cancel, a dash A button can really actually get pressure started here. So I'm going to write that down. I'm going to go ahead and try canceled to 214A. And let's see, if no cancel, $360B. All right, so those are the things that I want to find out now. So, let's see here. I'm going to do the exact same thing. What was the first one? Cancel into 214A. That's right. Okay. So I have that going. And looks like a 2-frame gap. So if in case they do that, what I absolutely want to be doing is my dash 5A actually needs to be turned into dash 2A and needs to be a dash block. So that in case they do that, I'll block before I would ever even have pressed the 2A. So now trying that again. So I'm going to attempt to do dash block 2A. And I pressed my 2A and nothing came out because I blocked. I'm good. And if he does the no cancel. Oops. Okay, let's try it here. And, you know, you gotta get the muscle memory. Yep. Okay, so that is a fairly safe thing to be doing. Just dash block, and you know, you delay your 2A because you gotta wait for the dash to catch up. But now, you gotta see if he does a no cancel into 360A, if I remember correctly. But I gotta write down these notes. Does not get hit. So that is really good. And let's see about 360A. I'm curious if the 360A will come out in time to catch you, or if you... Yeah, I just don't know how it's gonna interact with the dash button there. So we will find out. Let's see here. All right, so. Oops. Oh man. I'm so bad at 360s on hitbox. There we go. Oh, come on. Alright, there we go. That worked out fine. That came out at the timing I wanted. So yeah, that's about what I expected. Yeah. No cancel absolutely beats dash button. So... But always got to be looking at the RPS of these things, because that only works if you can absolutely whiff punish that. Okay, so if you do nothing but block there, you can whiff punish on reaction. So that is very much worth knowing, because you do not want to give out anything for free. Vaya, thanks for the follow. Alright, so let's see here. If you do nothing, can easily whiff punish with 5B. No, so it's technically possible to do a microdash 360 because, actually, I don't know that it's possible for a human. Like, you can absolutely get a microdash 360 to happen, but I don't think that it's, like, feasible. Like, as it is pretty damn hard to get, like, microdash 5A to come out on a regular controller or hitbox or anything. So I don't see microdash 360 being a real, like, anything to ever have to worry about. Okay. So now, no cancel into 360B. So that is the next thing to look at. Alright, so I got the TK grab. There we go. Okay. Yeah, even being ready for it. Okay, so something that I just found out about this interaction here, or really just like playing against Wald in general. Previously, when we were doing this into the no cancel, right? When you're talking about just taking your turn with dash block 2A. Well, if you do dash block 2AD, or in this case 1AD, and at that timing, you end up teching 360B. Because you're basically option selecting there. If he goes for that 360B, you're going to just automatically tech it. And yeah, that is obviously not on reaction, but any time that you can avoid having to think about having to tech something, that's way better. So, gonna go ahead and add that to my notes. Okay. And then I go here and go back and make sure that I retcon these, because in this situation, dash blocking with 180 or 280 is absolutely the better thing. Let's see. How late can I cancel? Oops, this is supposed to be 2B. How late can I cancel 2B into, say, 214? Because figuring out whether a button is late cancelable can, like if a button is not late cancelable by a lot, that means that you do not have to worry about too many mind games surrounding it. So I'm just going to go into here and okay, that looks like really late cancelable. So I'm going to do, let's see here, start recording, really late into 214A. Okay, but even if you late cancels, the timing where you were to take your turn, you still block. So that's nothing to be worried about. But let me try delaying it a bit more. Okay, I think that is about as much as I can delay that. Nah, it still gets blocked. We're still fine there. So yeah, that is going to be one of the things that I definitely will be on the lookout for next time I play against Wald as Akatsuki, is looking for times challenging 2B with dash block 2AD in order to see what they do. Because unless they are doing 360A there, let's say, since his 2A is -5 and 1F breaking on 2A, 214A. Oh, you're saying like a dash block DP? Or are you just saying like just immediately do, like going back to this first one. Okay, so that is, like if he does nothing, that whiffs. I don't like ranges where... Which one was that? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the DP there. If you're gonna do a DP, I would much rather it be at a range where it doesn't whiff, because, you know, sometimes like meterless DPs, they will hit even if they weren't currently pressing a button, just because they are currently not blocking. But if they, I do not want to have to rely on them currently pressing a button. I would much rather just be a lot more conservative about that. Yeah. Yeah, I like dash block 280 a lot here. Because, like, him being +1 at that range, it doesn't mean a ton to me. Because, yeah, +1 there. Akatsuki still has the faster buttons. I'm just gonna do, 5A does not reach. Oops. Okay. So can't straight bully with having 5 frame buttons, but you will trade favorably if he tries to do 2A. Because I'm going to go back to this. Oops. Oops, that was 1A. Yeah. 5B just wins. Yeah, I mean, like, it can be hard, like, unless you, like, lab this out a lot, it can be hard to tell Wald's buttons apart. But yeah, his 2B is this big old fucker. In general, like, at this mid-range, just Wald buttons are just so good. Especially that. You ever seen, like, a Seth player try to do a regular game plan, and Wald just does this over and over again and dies? So we will go over Wald overheads, because the thing about Wald overheads is that you know, he can obviously do a double overhead. Like, that is an overhead, right? The first part is a mid, the second part hits high, and it's +5. But this part is only special cancelable. So what that means is that once you do this, you just block high, because there is nothing he can do here that hits low. Because that's a mid. That's a mid. That's high. And the rest are grabs, which, since he's plus, you would be getting yellow thrown. I mean, the second hit of that is like frame 47. Like, you just need to get experience, because it's such a slow overhead with such a big windup that there's no reason to ever get hit by this for not blocking high. Like, if you get hit by it because you were mashing incorrectly, that's one thing. But this should never catch you off guard. And that catches way too many people. Yeah, it's absolutely a free force function, because if he does that, I believe that's a true block string. So I'm just going to go through that. I think his furthest low button is actually his 2B. So that is how far his 2B reaches, and his 2C is actually an overhead. Or sorry, an anti-air. So that is the button that you need to worry about as far as lows go. And like at that range here, right? We'll get into that again. Is also his 360 range. So like you do have to kind of watch out for getting grabbed. Like if you want to block low, you are susceptible to having to tech. Okay, so I'm gonna switch back over to this. Let's just let's finish off these notes here. Late cancel leads to good spacing. Okay. Let's go over here. Walled overheads. So 6C. The first hit is mid. Second hit is overhead. Which comes out frame 47, if I remember correctly. Let's just quickly find out. Yeah, 47. Can only be special canceled. Walled has no low specials. So, okay, so after blocking 60, you want to continue to block high until that part of the pressure is done. Because, yeah, like I said, there's no lows to worry about. And now let me see the spacing here. So 1A does reach, and 2A reaches. So no cancel. 1A and 2A both reach. And they're both lows. So that is important to know. So, like, once you're out of the no cancel timing, go ahead and go back to blocking low. And if you block this mid-screen, you should be able to just walk back out of that range so that those just completely whiff. And at the range where those would be at, there is no threat of doing like 1A no cancel 360. So, yeah, like after you've blocked his 60, there is no more mix. Because keep in mind, even though he is +5, and I should make sure to put this here. Okay, so even though it is +5, the range that he ends up at. So going back to this here. +5 at this range means that he can't really reset pressure. This is an incredibly slow dash with like no good movement. So the most he can do is like do like a 5-frame walk and then attempt to start pressure. At this range, can I? Yeah, he can do like a 5-frame walk and potentially do like 2A into 360. But yeah, in general, that's about the only thing that you have to worry about with this. Alright, let's see. Gonna go back to the video of me getting washed and see what else we need to find out. Okay.
Tennyson with all the grid to play with. Gets a BP there instead of a B grab.
Yeah, I'm still using too much 6-6C in neutral, I think. Yeah, in general, I was just trying
assaulting.
I was just trying to steal the cycle there, but I very much did not know how to approach, which, yeah, you could very much see. I feel like next time I will be incorporating more a mix of dash blocking and just like assaulting at him. Walled buttons are big, so like I can obviously get hit out of assault pretty easily, but it's kind of what Akatsuki has to do against everyone. He doesn't have safe ways to really start pressure.
Just over the fireball. Oh, it doesn't actually get the 720 ender there, but still pretty good.
Yeah,
Oh,
and you see
my
me
God.
there get hit by my own advice. I'm going to go ahead and blame the fact that I'm learning a new character, so I a lot on my mind. But that's still not really an excuse. I shouldn't have gotten hit there at all.
You are taking so much damage. Oh, it could have been a lot more. Juicy Jr. does have that cycle. Ooh!
Yeah, I was not at all ready for that tech.
Gonna do it for sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, delay DP. I like that. I believe that.
Yeah, walled holding 9. Once a walled starts holding a lot of 9, I need to just stay grounded. So I'm gonna go back to my notes here. Of just general notes. Because that would have alleviated like pretty much all of my issues in that set, or at least in that round. So let's see what else.
Air throw would have been a little better, but you know what? You take what's guaranteed sometimes.
I don't even agree with.
They'll take that first.
I don't know if there's any Aka players still watching this, but I'm currently not agreeing with my own use of trying to use a fireball to approach. Because I don't see
a little better, but you know what?
This gaining much, because too many of walled buttons
Tennyson does take that first
just
round, though.
delete projectiles. So, and like these 6/6Es would just dash 5Bs would be a lot better. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that here. Instead of approaching with 6/6C, use dash far 5B.
The 60 wasn't fast enough to actually break that fireball and reacts to the green shield. Okay, I see you.
Yeah, that is such an important part of like really everyone's game plan, but it feels like it's especially important for Akatsuki to be able to recognize bad shielding on assaults or jumps in general and just go in and grid break them. Let's see.
The 60 wasn't
Okay, I
fast
got the
enough to actually
cycle.
break that fireball and reacts to the green shield. Okay, I see you.
So that is what I need to lab right there. I'm just going to say Aka pressure against walled. Throw. I'm just going to say mid screen throw against back tech. Do it like that. So, Tennyson did wake up 623A. So, gotta find out what the frame data on that is. So, gonna go back to the game here. And let's just do that. Let's do it here so I can actually see the frame data. Okay, 9 frames it looks like. Which means if I set... Actually, I'll turn that off and just set reversal action here. So this would be like mid-screen if I do that. So, wait, that's neutral. I need to have him back tech. Recovery, where is... Why am I forgetting where the tech settings are? Here we go. Backward. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's get that instant dash block. Yeah. I cannot... I can only... Looks like I can only 6-6C meaty if he does back tech 63A. I cannot do... I can't do, like, dash button. Yeah. And, like, yeah, that's, you know, -6. But it's relatively safe for Wald to do. So I feel like it is more important to make sure I meaty him until there's he has the fear of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the notes. Can only be meatied by 6-6C. This will be layer 1. Like, even though there isn't much that Akatsuki can get out of 6-6C, I mean, if it hits it, like, near the corner, then you can absolutely get hella damage. Very much mid-screen, no, but still, it is worthwhile for me to be doing that. So... can also do Tatsu, but I don't know if I'm a fan of that. Yeah. Dash Tatsu might be okay. Especially because, might not be looking for that. It can be made safe. That actually gonna or dash the Tatsu. That seems that seems pretty worthwhile. Okay. So that is what I'll do next time that I throw him and it's not right at the corner. It's just throw dash Tatsu. Okay. That is good to know. So let's go back to the video.
Meter.
I almost
same plus. Oh.
Don't agree with having spent meter there, but at the same time, needing to keep pressure is pretty important. So that is a question that I'll have for myself, like as I get more experience with Akatsuki. That kind of thing is very hard to lab out. I'll just kind of keep it in the back of the mind.
Oh, okay, low. Oh my god.
And yeah, this situation here is mostly due to me not being able to finish combos yet.
Well, that 4B sucked in
but
somewhere.
that is not something that...
Yo, it's so crazy.
That, like, the situations where I'm in a bad position thanks to not having good combos, that will just fix itself just from labbing combos on your own, just practicing them. So not going to focus too hard on that.
Well, get that. Oh, wow, that was...
Yeah, JC is so good.
It's all JC.
And
You're not dead, are you?
Oh, I'm dead. I'm pretty sure I remember dying to this.
You died off of that. You died on.
Alright.
Counter hit, assault, and BO. Definitely is one way to die for sure. But it's looking like Juicy Jr. is going to have to do a whole lot of dash blocking here.
Yeah, like there, I feel like an assault. I'm just gonna go back a little bit.
But it's looking like Juicy Jr. is going to have to do a whole lot
Like
of
here,
dash
would be
blocking
a
here.
good time to also assault. Like after mid-screen throw, gonna go back here. Let's find out if assault is an okay option. I'm trying to... wait, does... Head invuln frame 8 is what it says. So, I should be able to melee. But assaulting is pretty slow. Let's do a jump. Yeah, just... Okay. So, 9 JB will beat that. Assault, like, will beat other stuff, but because of the quick-ish head invuln on that, it is very worthwhile. Loses to 623A. I'm gonna do 9 JB beats 63A. I wanna see what did he wake up with last time? So going back to this here.
But it's looking like Juicy Jr. is going to have to do a whole lot of dash blocking here.
Okay, so he just woke up with 2A. So I'm going to just have him reversal action 2A. Okay, so 9 JB, that absolutely beats that. What about assault? Oh man, that 2A reaches so high. Okay. Holy Butterfly, thanks for the follow. Yeah, it looks like Assault JB would be pretty good just because if he does other stuff that would somehow make it cross up, the JC hitbox whiffs on cross up quite a bit. And JB is a lot more reliable. So I would... But I feel like overall, just 9 JB seems to be the better answer here. So going back to this, 2A. And beats 2A. So now I have a pretty good understanding of how to make sure that I meaty safely after a mid-screen throw, because you gotta account for the possibility of back-teching. Alright, let's see what else I need to know.
Oh, good tech though. Not gonna, yeah, not fast enough to actually win the cycle though. Wow,
That one
super
makes
fast
me
as well,
sad.
but realizes that it's not active enough to actually have to shield it. I guess that 368 punch in there.
Yep. So
It was good ahead.
in general, I feel like
Oh my
more
God.
like dash block 2ADs would be really helpful here. Like that that assault J6C whiff into 360 would not have happened. Yeah, most of the time when I'm like watching Twitch, I go to full screen, so I don't really care. But how are you doing, Ash? Alright, so going back to just general notes here. Pushing with dash block 1AD. Yeah. Is pretty solid. So can make many salts, jumps, whiff. Alright. Let's see how else I die.
That was just death. Snappy, don't even start.
So the reason that I'm doing 2AD is because out of a dash block, I just get that. I'm pressing my macro. And I want to make sure that I'm blocking. Yep. Obviously, if I'm holding down back, I get shield. But out of a dash block, using the throw macro gives you your 2A. So this, I'm more thinking specifically against Wald, because if he does, if you are like fuzzy dash blocking into 180 like that, and he does 360B at all, you auto tech. So that's why I'm doing it that way. But like, I've mentioned it earlier in this stream here. This is just what I'm currently seeing as like possible solutions that I'm like writing down from, you know, looking at my set, looking at Wald's general tools, what he can do. And after I start applying them in actual sets, it can turn out that I'm completely wrong and I need to change a few things, which is totally fine. This is more about like the process of improvement, right? So like right now I'm pretty set on trying out this fuzzy dash block 1AD and seeing how that works out. And if it ends up like getting me killed too much, then, you know, it's time to reevaluate. Alright, let's see how I die now.
Bro, you're gonna get the you're gonna get the
Okay, I need to learn pressure that is specific to Akatsuki. Yeah, like this, since I've been doing enough of the beginner lobbies and the intermediate lobbies, I wanted to do a stream that is just about like, how do you lab matchups when you don't know a ton even about your own character. Yeah, exactly. Like, try something new, and if you lose a ton, it doesn't matter. You get a whole lot more info. And yeah, I wanted to make this lab with Akatsuki because, like, if I lab things with Yuzu, I know so much about my character already that it might appear to, like, newer players that they should just know all these things that they can try, when in fact, like, it takes a lot of time to get there. So that's why I'm doing it with Akatsuki, where I know practically nothing. And, you know, it's trial and error. Nothing that I'm finding here is necessarily the correct answer, but either way, I'll end up a better player just from the results of it. Anyway, I'm going to make a quick note here. Just notes. to self, lab out anti-walled specific block strings. And what I mean by that is you want to figure out what block strings put you at advantageous spacings. So going back here, I'm going to take off that. Okay. Like we've kind of mentioned that, like that that's 0 at a range where Wald's only button that reaches is 8 frames, and his grab doesn't reach here. Like if I set Wald to do that, at that range I can get grabbed. At that range I can get grabbed. At that range I'm very much advantaged because I can press 5B, and if so, like that, 5A, 5B, or sorry, 5AA, 5C, 2B, which I will go ahead and write down. So I'm just gonna go make a new section here. Anti-walled block strings. .360A. For FAR 5B. So 5AA, 5C, 2B. And it's this is 0 on block because 2B for Akatsuki is an insanely good button, has a good stagger window, and 0 on block. Like, it doesn't get much better than that. So that is something that I need to incorporate. And part of the reason why I want to start with 5AA is if I start the block string like here, the 5AA portion gets Akatsuki closer. The second hit, notice how he moves forward? That makes it so that I can more reliably create that exact same spacing every time. And like that. Yeah, so that... No, I do not want to do 5B. There, and then I can hopefully whiff punish. Yeah. So that is something that I absolutely need more of. Like, more block strings that end in 2B is, I think, is what I'm under the impression right now is the play. Yeah, like Seth having to use 5C for like creating like consistent spacing. Like every character has something they can kind of do to do that. Well, most characters. And yeah, doing anything to put yourself in a spacing where Wald just doesn't have options is great. So let's see if we can find other strings that maybe are a little bit farther away. Like if I start here, I know like Akatsuki, like FAR 5B and FAR 5C both bring him closer. So if I do FAR 5B, FAR 5C, 2B, that's still kind of close. I might have to do 2C, 2B. Might have to do some delay canceling. Yeah, that is something that seems promising. So FAR 5B, FAR 5C, slightly delayed 2C, 2B. and that will get you in that rough spacing. And let me check again by making sure that the 5B afterwards reaches. So yeah, as long as far 5B reaches, then you can go ahead and get a pretty good punish. And again, because it's 0, if he wants to even press his 2A is 8 frames, which means that that he will also get counter hit by my 7 frame 5B. And like, even with this one, you can do like micro dash 2A if you want to also threaten throw a bit more. Yeah. Yeah. Eltnam, Line, they all have stuff they can kind of do. Like Line can use Mugen pretty well to like put herself at -1, but spaced out of walled 360 range. She can also just do like, I forget how many 2As of hers it takes. But eventually you get out of the 360 range and Wald just has to hold it. Okay, so I will make sure to remember that, and too much delay. What's the frame data on this? Let's just stop that. The 2C, it's -6, not great. What if I just do... That seems a lot better. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna change the notes here. And you don't even need to do a delay. Aurier, yeah, I agree. Aurier is a different kind of thinking because she, in general, in terms of spacing, will be at advantage, right? So you have to think less about the horizontal spacing that she covers and more about the vertical spacing that she covers. So just gonna go back to here, and I'll just bring up Aurier real quick. I mean, this is just really, it's an all-purpose lab stream, even if it's been focused on me dealing with Wald as Akatsuki. But I'm just going to have Aurier reversal with 5A, because goddamn what a button Aurier 5A is. Let's space myself. Okay, so at this spacing, I'm 0. So you're not gonna punish her. Like, it's an A button, right? But let's see. This should actually catch her extended hurt box. I feel like I'm not timing it. So challenging the extended hurt box is one way. Since it only goes down, you can pretty much jump at her and see if she's ready to block overhead. No. It's pretty similar topic, just because it is dealing with something that is really fast, but it's not like it covers all of the spacing in the world. Like Wald 360A is 3 frames and covers like up to about here, which is massive for a throw. But it can be spaced out. It can be jumped against. It is the same type of issue that you have to solve when labbing against matchups. So yeah, put yourself at a position where you're not either 0 or like -1 thanks to like a rebeat. So yeah, that is, try to keep that kind of thing in mind. Because if Ori is forced to start using 5B in order to deal with the fact that you're jumping over her 5As, now you start now her 5B being, what is it like? That's a 9-frame normal. She's just gonna get counter hit. Dive kick is actually really good against that. So I'm just gonna switch to Line real quick. And 5A. Let's see. Because that is... Just gonna do... Yeah, her 5A. Oops, accidentally did 2C. And yeah, that can absolutely catch Orie if she's not ready. Hey, back to Waldstein. And let's see more of how I get blown up. But yeah, like, I just wanted to take those notes because I'm giving, in this video, like, you've seen me give up pressure so much because I don't know where I can be, where it's hard for Wald to challenge.
The head train started. Oh, and there it goes.
And then me, like, clearly not being comfortable with Akatsuki's throw range, which is technically the same as Yuzu's because everyone in the game has the exact same throw range except for Waldstein, who has a bigger throw range. But, like, it can look like different throw ranges because the character sprites are different sizes. So, like, even though I know that they are the same exact throw range, I will whiff throws with different characters just because I'm not used to where I absolutely need to be. And yeah, as Ash said there, dash acceleration is a huge part of it. Though Akatsuki has amazing dash acceleration. It's just his step dash kind of holds him back.
4K.
Yeah, I was tired of dealing with shit.
Oh, and the Junichi Junior snoozer. Oh,
So
my lord.
the reason for that there, that is actually super good with Akatsuki, is going into the corner. We had gone over the fact that that Akatsuki's 5AA brings him closer. Well, it's -5, which means it sets up throw perfectly. Because you can frame trap or go for throw. So that's what happened there.
Our momentum has definitely swung over to Junichi Junior side. Oh, backdash the DP.
And I needed to have CS'd there. It goes all downhill for me at this point.
100%. That could have been an anti-air. I'm gonna get the side switch.
Yeah, this round was entirely due to me not having enough experience
One
to
more hit is gonna do that.
know to
Oh,
look
that'll be
for
so close.
opportunity to CS there.
Oh, gets a fireball. I don't think.
All right, I gotta look at that pressure there.
That. I agree with this 100%. That could have been.
Oh,
Lord, one more hit is gonna do that. Oh, that 4B was so plus.
Okay, just go back slightly. Okay, so 5C, 5C, 5B, into 214B. So going back here into his pressure. Let's see here, 5C, 5B, 214B. That is the last of what I need to figure out for just going over this video. There's obviously more situations that I'll have to lab out in the future, but just getting all of this out of a first to two is pretty solid. So let's see where things go from here. Yeah, I might not even have needed CS for that, but yeah, that's the kind of thing that will come with time that I just need more experience for. So, it was like around this spacing. Let's see, 5C is minus, yeah, increased 5C is minus 3. But it does have that. So I'm just gonna, that is, dealing with this in the corner is gonna be the issue. So let's play that back. And it's only +4. So if he at that range, if he assaults, dash block goes underneath. And this would need to be regular 5C because you cannot cancel charge 5C. Just gonna write that down. Cannot normal cancel. +4. Dash blocking seems good. Also, if he does like 2B after, that would actually lose to like B Tatsu. So I'm gonna do this. Oh, maybe not because of that +4. What about just holding 9? Okay, so going back here, can hold 9 to call out 2B. And like that's the main button that he would want to press at that range. But 5B is probably also a button here. Because you can do that. And then you get comboed for hella damage there. Yeah. And at that point, you've created, with the dash blocking, if he's doing that, you've made enough space that his pressure is no longer free. So those will be the two things that I aim for here. To 5B. between dash block and 9 JB. So I think with that, like with those two things, Wald, he can't cover both of those really well. So as long as I'm looking for opportunities to do that, and also opportunities to like 2-2B any jumps if I'm deciding to just hold pressure, then I should be a lot harder to open up in the future. And yeah, I think that about covers everything for that video, because
Gets a fireball.
yeah, that's it. I died here, and there was no other stream match for us to watch. So I think right here is where I will call the stream. Any of you guys have questions of like the kind of process that this was? Because going through it, we did cover quite a bit. Like we went over some round start options, what we can do kind of in neutral, just kind of general matchup notes, what kinds of things pressure-wise that a Wald will do to you. Oh, let's see. Tips on approaching Vorpal or Grid Cycle. Yeah. I mean, 4 obviously is quite solid. The reason that I put like dash blocking being as a pretty good round start option is just because like 4 is the kind of like the implied like it works against everyone kind of thing. But I don't want to give Wald too much free real estate. Anyway, Vorpal. So, if Wald ever, if any charge move at all like that, just get whatever free grid you can get. Like, that is some free grid. Don't assault or don't shield too much against Wald, because he can very much grid break you if he can grid break you really hard if you're even slightly late on the shield, because that there being plus 12 means it is still plus even on shield. So a lot of times against Wald, shielding his jumps isn't good. Hey, what's up? But yeah, like, hard to say too much about, like, just sneak in concentrates where you can, because Wald is incredibly slow, so even when he is, like, somewhat advantaged, like, anywhere in neutral, he's absolutely advantaged versus Akatsuki, right? So sneak in little, like, I'm gonna switch this over to default. So just like a small concentrate here and there gets you a whole block, right? Just like half a block here, half a block there. And like just be ready to turn that that concentrate into a shield if necessary. And like obviously like if you if he is more covering a grounded approach, assaults get you that instant half block. Look at that. From here to here, 1.5 blocks. And then besides that, it is just regular, like, look out for his green shield habits. Like, if he green shields here, to threat activation. Look at all that he just lost. Even if he has some good grid, gone. So, like, reacting to the fact that they do green shields, even if it's at a range where you cannot grid break through them, because, like, that was not a grid break. They can tech this. That you can, because you're within dash throw range. That you can. That you can as well. Well, I mean, like Line, Akatsuki, like, Wald does get to play neutral against them. It is just, like, getting what free shields you can get here and there. Take some free concentrates every now and then, because that will make Wald want to go in. If Wald sees that you are just sneaking in free concentrates, they're going to start doing something like that. Which means they have to spend their resources. Because if they do, like... if they do that... and we have it do that... Look at all that grid you just got. Though I would not personally recommend shielding on the Super Flash, because some Walds really like to do 360C there, and you will get grid broken. So I will shield the easy part. And even still, like, that was 2.5 blocks for that one thing that Wald did. And, like, he had to spend meter for that. Yeah, he's +6 after the shield if you do it that way, or +9 if you don't shield the last part. But you gained a bunch of grid, and you're doing pretty damn well in the cycle. And that's a true block string, so cannot DP. Yeah. That is what I would recommend in general against Wald, is like the universal stuff of looking for green shields. Not necessarily to grid break, but just because, like, okay, so we're, like, pretty far in the cycle. He has 3 blocks. I'm gonna make him green shield a single hit. Gone. Gone. They always lose an entire block just for whiffing that green shield. Make him gain some grid. Okay. Now that it's like that, you don't gain grid for green shields. They lose it, but if they don't have grid to give, then you just gain grid. Same thing actually with force functions. If you don't have grid to give, your grid or your force function gives your opponent grid. Yeah. Yeah, right here, it only used grid and didn't give it any to your opponent. Again, it costs 1 full block, so it doesn't give anything, but if you don't have enough, they get the block. Okay, but yeah, that, I think, is a good place to to call the stream. Hope that was helpful for you guys. Because, yeah, I definitely understand that trying to learn how to lab in this game, or just in any fighting game in general, can be really confusing. Because you don't know what you don't know. But, yeah. I'm going to try and make sure that I upload this to my YouTube so that it doesn't just get taken down whenever Twitch decides to delete VODs. So that they can be used as reference. But with that said, let's see where I can send you guys over to. Who is streaming Uni? I'm going to send you guys to Barris. He is a Chilean Outland player. So, all right. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'm sure I'll be in chat with you guys for a little bit in Barris' channel. See ya. Oh yeah, I always forget that it takes a full 10 seconds to do the raid. And we are raiding.